All right, we're back with another Prize Picks video. This one's going to be for the MLB slate tomorrow of postseason play. We got Phillies, Braves. We got Arizona Diamondbacks versus the Dodgers. So it should be two fun games. A couple of these teams are red hot, but we'll jump more into that later. I do want to say for Monday Night Football, that video will come out after this video, probably tomorrow morning or maybe early afternoon. Just because they're still dropping lines. They just put up Garoppolo. They still have no fantasy score lines. So I just want to have the full slate to be able to dive into those picks and get you guys the best ones. So be on the lookout for that. Also NBA preseason. I want to get a video out there for NBA preseason. But again, they don't have any of those lines out yet. They tend to drop those a little bit later. So if the timing matches up and I can get a video out, I will definitely do that. But yeah, let's jump into the MLB. First guy is going to be right here, Max Fried. We're going over his pitcher strikeouts. He is a lefty going up against Philly, who loves to strike out against lefties. Let's go to his Ks. Yeah, so over 4.5. The money is on the over at minus 125. Here's the Phillies. They have a 25.3% K rate in 2023 against lefties specifically. So really liking that. Even a little bit worse the last 30 days. Specifically against Max Fried, some of these guys hit him around a little bit more than others. Look at Trey Turner here at 367. We'll talk about him a little bit later as one of the picks. But a lot of these guys in the red. And again, you can give up a little bit of hits while striking people out. This Phillies team has been pretty hot, but they've been striking out. They have, let's go check real quick just to be sure. They have, in the 3 games in the postseason this year, they have 24 hits, but they also have 33 Ks. So that's just how baseball works. There's going to be people getting hits, but there's also still going to be strikeouts to be had. I think this 4.5 line is very doable for Fried. As you can see, he likes to get into that 7-8 realm, even up to 10. In the head-to-head matchup, he's faced him once this year, and he got 6. And he has a really good history against these guys, and he's faced them a decent amount. Typically getting, up at 8, 8, 8, 6, even 5 here would do the job. Again, a lot of Ks to be had, a lot of red, 37, 22, 29, 25, even the greens, 21, 24, 50. That's specifically against Fried. And then lefties as a whole, we talked about how bad Philly is against striking out against lefties. And you can see right here just a lot of high K percentages. So we like to see that. Max Fried will be our first play. Next up, we're going to be talking about Bobby Miller. We're going to his hits allowed. It's at 4.0, so keep that in mind as we check out his outlier, because on outlier I think it's 4.5. Miller, 4.5. They just don't have 0.0 lines on outlier. You can see the under is at minus 165. Now I will tell you, with these odds, the over 3.5 would probably be like a minus 200, or like at the very least like a minus 190. So the money is still going towards that push at 4.0. I specifically think that he can get over that. If we look at the head-to-head, he's faced these guys. Again, he's going up against a red-hot Diamondbacks team, which is even hotter than the Phillies. He's given up 4 hits against them back in August, and then 7 hits against them. Remember, this would be a push for us, so this wouldn't hurt us, and then this would be obviously a green. And then let's go see the Diamondbacks this year in the postseason. They've gone 3 games, 28 hits, 22 runs. So they've just been hitting really well, even a 267 batting average for the team. But yeah, really liking the odds there. Let's see if we have anything specifically. You can see a few of these guys are in the reds, but not a whole lot of history here. Most guys, or most at-bats against this dude from this lineup is 6. And again, even some of these guys are in the 400s. Obviously, Perdomo in the 500s here. Reno here at 667 with the home run. So there's definitely hits to be had. They're a middle road team in terms of batting against right-handed pitchers. But again, specifically, some of these guys are hitting him well. Miller has faced these guys twice, and he's done the job both times for us. So liking Bobby Miller over 4.0 hits allowed. Then jumping into some hitters here. First guy we're going to talk about is Corbin Carroll. This kind of goes hand in hand with the Bobby Miller pick. He's going up against Bobby Miller. I'm going to his fantasy score because of the stolen base potential. Corbin Carroll could get on base and steal second, and he's already over. The single would be 3 points, and the stolen base would be 5. So really liking that. We can check out his page, though, right over here. Corbin Carroll. They don't have a fantasy line, so we have to look at the hits, runs, RBIs. Obviously, he's been on an absolute tear. This is just hits, runs, RBIs. Doesn't even show stolen bases. I'm sure he's picked up a few. I think he's over 50 stolen bases on the year, which is a lot. And he's just been killing it. 6, 5, 4, 4. Any of these hits, runs, RBIs, there's more fantasy points. So, again, part of an Arizona team that's just been on an absolute fire. I think they keep it going. Specifically for Corbin Carroll, he's batting .500 in the postseason, 12 at-bats, 6 hits, 5 runs, 2 home runs, and 4 RBIs. So, again, this doesn't even capture the stolen base potential also. So, really liking Corbin Carroll. I think he stays hot. But yeah, that's going to be our first batter. Next up, I kind of picked all these batters for similar reasons, but also different reasons. Next guy is going to be Turner. Actually, before we go to Turner, I do want to point out, I said different reasons because Turner's matchup, he's been hitting really well against him. For Corbin Carroll, though, this is the disclaimer. He is 0 for 6 against this guy, so just keep that in mind. But in terms of averages against right-handed pitchers as a whole, he bats about the same as his normal, in about 286 average. So this 6 at-bats, yeah, he's got him 6 times in a row. But again, he's really, really hot right now, and I think he keeps it up. So, but let's jump into Trey Turner. Now, Trey Turner we talked about earlier because he's going up against Max Fried. So just keep that in mind if you're trying to couple these two. They kind of contradict each other. But I still think Max Fried can get the strikeouts while giving Trey Turner a few fantasy points in the time being. Let's go check him out specifically. Trey Turner. Again, we're going over hits, runs, RBIs, even though we're doing fantasy score. He's done it. He's been hitting pretty well. 6 of the last 10, he's gone over the 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs. But then we looked at it earlier. He's batting .367 and 30 at bats. That's more of a sample size I like to look at. He has a home run against this guy, 2 RBIs. And then this Phillies team has also been really hot. So do they keep the momentum going? I think so. Anyone that hits better against this guy, Castellanos is at 8 at-bats with 500. So RBI potential, run potential, and another guy with stolen base potential. So we're liking Trey Turner also. Last guy, we're going to go to Acuna. Now, Acuna, let's go check him out over here first. For the Braves, they got I think they got shut out the game 1. Yeah, looks like they got shut out in game 1. They've only played 1 game, and Acuna himself went 0 for 3. So I don't think you slow down Acuna in 2 games in a row. He's too good. And if he gets on base, he could very, very, very well steal a base. So again, talking about stolen bases for fantasy scores, because they are so important. Let's go check out Ronald Acuna and by himself here. His hits, runs, RBIs lines at 2.5. Again, he's kind of been in, I guess, a little slump for him. 2-game slump where he didn't hit this. And then if you look specifically against Zach Wheeler, he's another guy that is in the red, but he's batting .250, which, again, would be pretty good for anyone else not named Ronald Acuna. He's batted against this guy 44 times. He has 4 home runs and 7 RBIs. So he can hit him. In terms of getting up against right-handed pitchers specifically, I don't know why it's showing he's a lefty. He is a righty. This is right. He bats .343, so even a little bit better than his normal average. But yeah, I don't think this is going to scare me too much. He is technically in the red, but still batting .250. If he gets on base and steals one, that's 8 fantasy points right there. And if he gets hit another run through the bases, that would be 10. So I don't think you slow down Ronald Acuna Jr. twice in 2 games in a row. So I think he has a bounce-back game here. So that's going to be the 5 picks. We're going Fried. We're going Miller and Carroll. These guys work together because I'm doing hits allowed off Miller. Corbin Carroll's going up against him. I will say Fried and Trey Turner, they kind of contradict each other. So I wouldn't maybe recommend playing them in the same slip. But again, he can get strikeouts while giving up a few hits. And then Ronald Acuna Jr., I just think this line's too low. I do want to point out over here too, I looked all these guys up on Underdog as well, and you can see Acuna Jr.'s line's at 10.5, so that's higher. Carroll's line's at 9.5, that's higher, and Trey Turner's line's at 8.0, which is also higher. So is that an indicator that these lines are too low? Potentially, but we'll take advantage of it. But yeah, that's going to do it. Be ready for Monday Night Football. That video will come out tomorrow. Preseason basketball, if they drop the lines ever, I will definitely do one for that as well. But yeah, that's going to do it. Hopefully make some money on these plays. Go watch these baseball games. Postseason baseball is always fun, so show it some love for sure. But yeah, that's going to do it. Peace out.